I broke my back.
What do you mean by that?
My back is broken.
What do you mean, calm it down? It's a fight. Referees telling two fighters who want to fight to calm it down. He should calm down.
I saw he's like a clown in his show, man. He's not your guy.
Because Tyson Fury's back, and all you motherfuckers are under attack.
Look, Eddie Hearns can say all what he likes. Who gives a shit what Eddie Hearns says? It's garbage.
Are you off your tits? Have you been smoking something?
Can you let me retire and be happy? Please, just please.
Bombs away for the Bronx Bomber!
Water! Let's go, baby! Let's go! I'm through. They put somebody else up and give me an interview.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You never give me a fair shake. HBO needs to fire you. You don't know shit about boxing. You ain't shit. You got shit.
I wish I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass.
I got man. No. You won the fight.
OMG. I am so excited.
Yes. What is up, MCR family? Another, bi-weekly edition of the show. However many shows we do a week. It's about 2 shows a week, Rob. Don't joke and laugh at me. It's bi-weekly show now. Not semi-daily, but bi-weekly edition of the show on Mixed Combat Radio, live on YouTube, podcast form, and all forms of podcasting and shit. We have a lot to talk about, actually. Fury Joshua or Joshua Fury. Maybe we have to decide on who's going to be the A side in terms of the naming and hashtagging. That's important, I feel like. We talk about that in terms of them agreeing to a deal for 2021, a 2-fight deal, allegedly. Going to dive into that whole fun topic that will just never end. Canelo is still without a fight and has options, allegedly. So we're going to talk about that again. Ryan Garcia is beefing with DAZN and Golden Boy again. We had fights for the first time in forever in the U.S., it feels like. We had Shakur Stevenson fight last night, and maybe what we can describe as fights, but, loosely defined as fights because it wasn't that exciting or competitive. Let's be quite honest. Just a lot to get to on today's show, surprisingly. So without further ado, let me get to my almost full panel. Shout out to Foo, who's not here with us. Let's go to the UK. Robbie Hearns, second cousin, twice removed. Rob, how are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good. I think you just got to stop saying or mentioning Foo. I don't. Does he count anymore?
I feel like if I keep mentioning it, it's like peer pressure. Eventually, he'll come on.
It's only peer pressure if he's listening. I'm pretty sure he's not even doing that. So.
Maybe it's like Candyman or like Bloody Mary. I just say it enough times in the mirror, he'll appear.
Yeah, it's like some audio voodoo doll or something. But yeah, I hope everybody's well. From what I can tell, coronavirus doesn't exist anymore. No one really cares. It's just it's back to normal. It seems that way. But yeah. Fury, Joshua Fury, like you say. I think one's more of a commercial A side, but
Joshua Fury, right? It has to be Joshua Fury.
That sounds better, just off the tongue, but whatever. I really don't care which way round it is. It's a 50-50 split, but we'll get into all of that. Yeah, last night's card. I mean, yeah, boxing's back, but yeah,
it's back. Yeah.
I mean, Top Rank boxing's back.
Truly.
But yeah, I see this is difficult. I don't want to be that guy though. Matt will be that guy. There's no doubt about it. But
the meme of Kermit the Frog, and then Kermit the Frog, that's the Emperor.
Yes.
That's me right now saying, "Do it, give me the
do it."
But let's go to Dallas. Gary in Dallas. Gary, how are you, man?
I'm good. I was excited for these fights yesterday, and then last night, was I the only one?
Yes. No, you, Adam, what's his name? At SN Boxing. He's the only one that's bigging up these cards and saying that, oh, don't talk shit about these cards, people. There's 2 or 3 other people, tops, that were hyped. You're in that group.
All right. I honestly,
wait, Gary, sorry. You were hyped for these cards, but having watched it,
it was terrible matchmaking. Honestly, the King Carlos Molina card that I paid $5 for on Facebook was a more entertaining night of boxing.
How was
it? Really was.
How was it? Was it worth the $5?
I think so. It was better. It was more entertaining than last night. There was an 18-year-old kid who fought in the co-main. I'll look up his name, but he looked really good. Carlos Molina, you can still see was crafty, but he's so slow and old now. Like it's like ooh. But I've seen the future of the heavyweight division, and it is Italiano. Assolutamente perfetto, benissimo. We have a new king of the heavyweight division, and his name is Guido Vianello.
I thought you were going to say Jared Anderson. I thought, is he Italian?
We're going to have a disagreement on Jared Anderson. I'm looking forward to that. We're going to have a serious disagreement on Jared Anderson. I can tell.
When do we want to talk about the card? Do we want to talk about Fury Joshua or Joshua Fury first, or you want to talk about the card first?
I mean, we got Fury Joshua is bigger news than bad sparring from last night, right?
Yeah, that's true. So let's get into it. Unfortunately, I cannot get the Sky Sports or ESPN article up because for some reason it's just fucking with my computer. But we do have the Boxing Scene article up from Boxing Scene staff, which just copied all the quotes. So don't worry, guys. We still have the quotes for you.
It's not. It's fucking up with your computer.
My computer is
trying to do stuff.
Okay, Rob, tomato. Okay, agree to disagree. Moving on, okay? So we now have a deal. I'm going to use that term very loosely here. Deal agreed upon between Joshua and Fury's teams. To give some of the bullet point items of this deal, the first fight, which would be in 2021, and the second fight be again in 2021, is a 50-50, and the winner having a 60-40 split. Very similar to, obviously, the Wilder and Fury deal in terms of how that, monetarily speaking, was split up. Also, just want to add some quotes to it. Let me read it from Eddie Hearn here. As he told Sky Sports News, we're making great progress. There's still a lot to overcome. We're looking at venues and dates. We've been talking to Fury's management team, MTK, giving them the assurances from Joshua's side that all the details on the structure of the deal is approved from our side, and it is from Fury's side as well. We're in a good place. It is fair to say that in principle, both guys have agreed to the fight. 2 fights. There's a lot to overcome. In the meantime, we're moving in the right direction. I'm confident that both guys have given their blessing to the fight to go ahead. The point of Fury Joshua and the teams agreeing to the structure of the deal. The first fight could happen next summer. It would be 2021. There was a big period of time where White should get his shot at the title. That's important to us. The main positive news is that Joshua and Fury have agreed to a 2-fight deal in essence. The most difficult part of any deal is financial element, blah, blah, blah. I believe we're in a great place. We have not signed any contracts because there are still things to be worked out. And that's key to point out. Both guys are in agreement. Again, blah, 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 blah. I also want to point out very quickly, because again, I don't have the articles up. I don't have Tyson Fury's Instagram post up either. But everyone, and even Frank Warren and Queensberry Promotions' own post, are all crediting Dan O'Callaghan as an instrumental figure in this deal, and that his relationship with Eddie Hearn in particular was instrumental in this deal, air quotes, being agreed to. Again, nothing signed. Again, we still obviously have a Pulev fight, a Wilder fight for respective parties to get through. But guys, a lot to sort of dissect here, a lot to sort of take apart from a lot of different angles. I don't know where you guys want to begin. Rob, as obviously our UK correspondent, and this is a big UK fight, probably the biggest UK fight of all time. Thoughts on this news?
Outside of Fowler Fitzgerald too.
Oh my
god. No, that's that's although many hurdles ahead, I think that's a significant one, like box checked, right? It's 50-50, no more of this. Although I still probably think Eddie Hearn feels it, that, Joshua's the much more commercial A side and probably deserves more.
Quickly want to add that in the ESPN article, I think it was from Frank Warren, a quote from Frank Warren, right? It was 50 to 60, no, 60 to 70 million purses for each party, Joshua and Fury, for this alleged fight is what they've agreed upon.
Yeah, and like, what did he say? Like a nine-figure
There's one quote. I don't think I have it here. Let me see.
It was a Benson one, and then you were like had to find the original one.
Yes.
Like Benson ones, even though.
Well, if there's an ESPN article, I'd like to see.
Yeah. But no, like I say, that's more of a significant hurdle, like checked off a list. Obviously, there's 4 networks involved with this. Venue, location, fucking mandatories. There's a lot in the way of this, but I still feel that this is the closest we've got to the heavyweight undisputed. You know, we've got 2 guys that have agreed financial terms, basically. So I just think that's already a step closer than we've been for a good while. So I'm tentatively hyped. You know, there's a long way to go before it's official, but yeah, no, maybe it's just the British part of me. Like we're gonna have a huge mega fight. Obviously, it won't be in Britain, so it's not that.
2 key factors to why it won't be in the UK. Obviously, Dan O'Kinahan's involvement and his connection with KHK Sports in Bahrain. MCK's connection, obviously, with the Middle East and Dubai. And the amount of money that's on the table here.
Yeah, and Eddie's connection with Saudi as well. So there's going to be, I mean, everybody, I think, is going to throw their hat into the ring as far as wanting to stage this fight. So I did see one tweet saying this fight is just going to be disgraceful because if it lands anywhere outside of the United States, it's going to kill American boxing. And I was like, huh? so yeah, no.
Did a media member say that, or just some fan on Twitter?
No. It's just I think it was some fan in between, and I'm like, there's some American guy getting really involved with this, and I understand. Like, stay in your lane. It's not all about you all the time.
There's maybe an argument, and we've had this, I think, argument on the show before, discussion, I should say, on the show before, is whether or not Joshua Fury not being in the UK hurts UK boxing to some degree, and we've had that discussion before. I think we kind of fell on like it does affect it. Does it like ruin UK boxing? Of course not. But it being in the UK is a massive boom to the market and the industry. It not being in the UK is more of just keeping the status quo, so to speak. But
sorry, I was just going to say, I don't think there's a venue kind of big enough to hold it here in a way. Just for pure demand, everyone would want to be there. You know, like it would do.
They're gonna put it inside of. They're gonna put in like Dubai or whatever and find like 2,000 people. So like it.
No, I know. I'm just saying on a British front, it would just be. It would sell Wembley like I think like 3 times over or some shit. You know, through demand. But like you say, the money's not there. It's not going to be like government backed or anything like that.
It's not that. I think the money is absolutely there in the UK. The money is just.
Oh, it is. But
it's just in your face in the Middle East right now, and that's why. That's the difference, right? It's far easier. You can pick it from the fucking tree. It's low hanging fruit. Gary, your thoughts on this? And again, we have a lot to still dissect from this topic. So, where do you want to begin with your thoughts on this?
First, they should it's for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Put the thing in Madison Square Garden. Like, it's Madison Square Garden. It's the mecca of boxing. Like they had, I know it's 2 British guys, but there was once upon a time 2 Canadian guys, Lennox Lewis and Donovan Ruddock, who fought for the heavyweight title. And they put it in England. They put it in London, I think. Of all, like 2 Canadians, they put it in London. All right. You know, that didn't kill Canadian boxing. Canadian boxing is as weak as it ever was. So why would this kill
Okay.
Yeah. He couldn't even get through it. He stopped. He bailed out. He couldn't even get through it. He almost got to the end of that, Gary. Well done. It was good.
No, I mean, that is. What do you think each guy gets? I know it's a 50-50 split, but what do you think each guy is guaranteed? You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, the article said something like 60 to 70 million each.
That's what it's got to go. I mean, because the pay-per-view sales are going to be unaffected, I would think, no matter where it is, right? You put it in Dubai. It's in a time that works in both the US and the UK, and you can get a big, a big gate. and you can get upfront money. I think economically that makes the most sense. It's just like not where I would want to put it. I'd rather have it in Wembley or Madison Square Garden.
The MSG call out was just hilarious.
It's the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Like when Lennox Lewis fought Holyfield the first time, it was in Madison Square Garden. Like that's where it should be.
But that's one UK fighter and one US fighter fighting in literally the closest we could get to an in-between fight, which is MSG. This is two UK Brits fighting. It should 100% be in the UK. It should be in Wembley. It's in today's era. It's not that hard for us to see it at fucking 4 p.m. In the middle of the afternoon. That's not a big deal. And plus, I'll be honest, they would make far more money with it being in the UK than it being in the US. Like, I feel like that's fucking obvious. It has to be.
I guess, I suppose.
They can get every UK brand, company, corporation in the world to sponsor that motherfucker. Every Commonwealth corporation across this fucking globe will want to sponsor that fight.
I get what you say, but like Holyfield Lewis, Ali Fraser, the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world should be in Madison Square Garden. I get it. That's two Brits.
Yeah, it's very different.
I get it.
Your comparisons are automatically unequal.
But it's the mecca of boxing.
It's the mecca of boxing 50 years ago, dude.
It's okay. I get what you're saying.
The Barclays has overtaken MSG in every sport for the last 10 years. Let's be honest about it. So no, I think if, let's say, 3 years ago, if we had AJ Wilder, that should have been an MSG. But it's now not that, unless Wilder beats Fury in the trilogy fight. Then maybe we get an AJ Wilder fight at MSG, but that's not happening. We're talking about Fury Joshua. That should 1000% be in the UK, but it's low-hanging fucking bags of money in the Middle East right now.
No, I know you take the money.
Eddie Hearn and mobsters like Dan O'Callaghan are going after, and it's just, I may just say it, you guys don't have to address it at all. It is really sad that none of the big time, at least U.S. media, U.S. boxing media, I'm not going to talk about UK boxing media, U.S. boxing media gives zero context to Dan O'Callaghan, what he does, allegedly, or not.
Who's that? Never heard of him.
Jake Donovan.
Never heard of him. I don't know who that is.
You're right. I should give credit to Jake Donovan. Jake's one of the best guys, period, in the industry, period, full stop. Jake, nothing but respect to you. Love your work. You're right. Jake's the one exception to the rule about most of things when I come to shitting on the media. But, I mean, look at Mike Coppinger. Look at the ESPN article I read. There was no mention of that. The Sky Sports article that mentioned Dan O'Callaghan. Frank Warren mentioned him. Everyone's mentioning him, this relationship with Eddie Hearn. Obviously, MTK announced a financial relationship with the Dan O'Callaghan's company in Bahrain. So it's just crazy that this is just getting, oh, yeah, that's happening. Tyson Fury is out there like mentioning, oh, yeah, shout out to Big Dan, for getting the deal made. And everyone's like, oh, cool, that's cool. That's cool. No big deal. Irish cartel leader in Bahrain, okay, is making AJ Fury with cartel money and Middle Eastern fucking oil blood money, and no one cares. No one cares. That's cool.
Two things on that. First of all, have you seen Boxrec Gray's Twitter handle at the moment?
Amazing.
Amazing. And also, apparently the BBC posted Fury's video that he done on Instagram, and they have since edited it to take out Kinahan's name. So it's like, let's not speak about that bit. Let's leave that bit out. But yeah, look, I don't know. I know what you mean about the reporting and stuff, but I don't know. This is boxing.
Oh, it's 100% boxing. No, you're 1,000% right. Like, this is
doesn't mean it's right. Like I said, it doesn't mean it's right, but this is what we're just bred to follow and just kind of not really be bothered about it, because that's just what boxing is. So, but yeah, don't get me wrong. At this side of the pond, you can find a lot of people talking.
Absolutely. And I'll be honest, you know me, I always kind of give shit to the UK fans, mainly because it's an extension of you, Rob. So like I give shit on you, kind of to a degree. But I will give credit to all the UK fans that were in like Mike Coppinger's mentions, posting links to all of the articles from like the Irish Mirror and like all of the outlets over there talking about him, talking about Dan O'Canahan. Mike Coppinger should be the one making a thread with those articles to give context to the story, not fans having to spread actual news to other fans. That's sad. It shouldn't be on you guys in the UK spreading this. It should be on these ESPN athletic reporters that get paid bags of money to report on the sport, and they don't fucking do it because they're too coward to lose access. That's what it is.
Access / limbs. Yeah, there's like stuff going on over here in like Ireland. I think the Sky offices in Ireland have kind of had threatening graffiti written on there saying about the staff not being safe there and stuff like that. So yeah, without people knowing or looking into it, people are just like, oh, it's a little bit dirty. Shock, like whatever. Didn't Don King allegedly or factually or whatever it killed someone or in the past, like in his early career. But and we've had many a mafia and
Carbo,
all that involvement. So this isn't new, but yeah, if people don't know, just there's plenty out there on Google if you do want to look further into this too.
Or you can check out our video, Top 5 Scandals in Boxing History, with a bunch of links in the description, I'm pretty sure. So if you want to,
one on NTK.
No, that wasn't as big of a story when I did that video.
Is it just outside of the pound for pound list?
It's probably in the top 10 right now. I'll be honest. Like it's way too much in terms of like Irish cartel connection. You have the Middle East connection. Like it's bingo for like how fucked up boxing could get, man.
check. Oh, bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah. But back to the actual fight and the terms and whatever. I think a lot of wrinkles to iron out, but I don't know. I'm positive on it, especially the fact that Frank Warren kind of basically backed up what Eddie Hearn come out to say. That's rare. People need to take note of the fact that Frank Warren also put out a statement to say, yeah, this is kind of happening. Although he did do something with Boxing Scene saying this is typical Eddie Hearn, opening his mouth and not telling anyone anything new. What did we know? This was the financials were agreed before, and you did see your fighter's Instagram where he said, "Shout out, the biggest fight in British boxing history's made. First, I've got to punch Deontay Wilder's face in again, and then it's me and Joshua." So Frank, he backed up Eddie Hearn, but he also obviously thought, "Oh shit, that's not normal. I better do something, say something to shit on Eddie a little bit." But I'm excited.
I'll say this briefly before we may move off topic and go to something else, or maybe Gary jumps in. I don't think we get 2 fights between the two of them next year. I don't think that happens. I'll probably go on that limb.
Do we get one?
Maybe that's possible. Like maybe in the fall of 2021, I could see them fighting for the first time.
I would go all in on we get one and we don't get 2. I would say 100% chance we get 1 and 100% chance we don't get 2.
What's your reason?
Because they're going to what?
Rob, whose reasoning do you want, mine or Gary?
Well, Gary said it.
Okay. Well, I said it too, but that's fine. Whatever.
Because
what you say.
We already got Wilder Fury, right? They said the money's way too big. Like this money, it's talking about $60 million guaranteed. It's gonna get made. Like you can't put that kind of money in front of people. And
Gary, you're muted, Rob. Damn it. Okay.
It'll get made.
Gary, quickly, just refresh your page. Just do
Okay.
it. Yeah, it's just so much easier to do that. And I'll explain my reasoning for why I think this fight doesn't happen twice next year. One, because like the laws of like probability and just like chance of both these guys winning their next fight, not being injured, being able to have a fast turnaround, like that just seems unlikely. You have mandatories with Usyk and White still in the wings. Like there's a lot of moving parts. And like you said at the jump, which I think really didn't jump into because it's an obvious point that I think everyone's aware of. The amount of networks we have involved here that have to kind of like work together is a lot. It's not impossible. We saw it with Wilder Fury, but that was a lot of work. That broke down. Remember the rematch negotiations broke down for a period of time. That had come back after 2 fights with other people. Like there's a lot of moving parts with these mega fights, and we have nothing signed. We have just the financial terms agreed upon from Daniel Kinahan and Eddie Hearn, pretty much. And that's it. There's a lot more parts to fill out, a lot more T's to cross, a lot more I's to dot. And it's not just the little stuff, like Eddie says. A lot bigger stuff that needs to get fucking dealt with before they have a fight.
That's I was going to go where Matt is, right? Like, it'll get made once because the money's too big. To make it again, look, ESPN and Fox already work together all the time. And
Wouldn't
they're both
it be bigger,
paper.
man?
What?
Don't you think it would be bigger the second time?
You're going to have more. It could happen twice. I just don't think it happens twice in the same 12-month span.
Like, okay.
They could.
Yeah, and I will say this. Also, the timetable they're looking at for be off. They're looking for a summer showdown for the first fight and presumably a quick turnaround for the fall or December showdown, right? Like that's that's way too quick of a time span from back-to-back rematches. And on top of that, I don't think they get that summer showdown going off like they think. Because look at AJ Pulev being pushed back and pushed back. We have Wilder Fury being pushed back. Those 2 fights could still not happen this year. That's 100% likely, but that's a decent chance of happening. Let's be honest. So
I think Joshua Pulev happens this year.
No, I'm not. Yeah, but that might get pushed back from August to September. It might keep
looking at November time apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Just get it over with, please. Please just get it over with.
Gary's enough with that fight, right? What is Pulev doing?
It's like doing your taxes. Like it's fun to push it off because you don't feel like doing it, but eventually you have to do it. So let's just get it out of the way. Let's just do it now.
Charles Martin wants Joshua to drop the idea so he can fight Pulev for it.
Charles Martin can be a 2-time heavyweight champ.
Why would he do that? Oh, Charles Martin, what a legend. But yeah, I don't know. If the deal's in place, like you say, things can happen in between time, but I think the rematch is even bigger. And on a personal note, I kind of want Fury to win the first fight with AJ. Go completely undisputed. My glove just goes crazy in price. And then just, for history and everything, Joshua can win. After I've sold the Fury glove, Joshua can win the second leg and we go undisputed.
Between the Fury glove and the MGM, when are you buying us the fight?
It dropped like 8% today.
The market wasn't down that much today. I didn't look at it. I mean, it
went back down. It'll be all right. Do
you know the market's at the same place it was like 8 months ago, like before all this started? There's no more correlation between the strength of the economy and the stock market. There's no more correlation.
Your economy is about to
explode. Market's fine.
It's about to explode.
Rob, I can't believe you're so selfish that you want Fury to win just so your signed glove gets an uptick in value. That's so selfish.
And what's your point?
That's my point. That's it. That's all I have.
Yeah.
And
some of that 60 million. That's all I want. Just a bit.
My autograph is going to be worth 60 million.
No, I was saying I want a bit of it. It's not going to be fuck if it's worth that. I want Fury to win them all. I want him to stay undefeated for the next 20 years.
What's been like the priciest memorabilia in boxing history that's been sold in auction?
It's got to be something Ali, right? Maybe
Jack Johnson or Joe Louis related. Sugar Ray Robinson might be on that list too.
I'll look it up.
I'm curious. Like, what's like I don't know how he I don't know what you would Google exactly how you would phrase that, but I'm curious what that would be, and what Fury's glove would be in relation to that. That would be interesting. But while you're looking that up,
that's
just
only
a quick
important
member.
to whoever's trying to buy it. It could be worth. It could be you know, what's the word for when something costs
invaluable.
No, there's another word. Priceless.
Priceless?
Priceless to someone. It's not to me. If there's a high price,
Yeah.
Sure.
When I was packing up all my stuff, right, and moving to college, I found 2 baseball cards: a Mike Piazza and a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card. I was like, "Oh man, I'm gonna be rich." One was worth $11, the other was worth $9. I was like, "Oh man." The plastic I had it, like the case I had it, I think was worth more than the card. I was like, "What a bust!" So I don't know how much your glove is gonna be worth. But maybe.
But maybe.
I don't know. I was so disappointed. I thought it was going to have worth at least a couple $100 worth of baseball cards there. And I looked up, it was 11 and 9.
That's depressing. That's depressing. Let's talk about the fights that happened last night, guys, so we can just get them the fuck over with. Shakur Stevenson defeated Felix Cabello. I mean, what do we have to say about this sparring session? It was Shakur Stevenson kind of playing with this food for a little bit, and then he was, finding some good shots mid combination of good old Felix here, and got him out there eventually with the body shot. It was just kind of a ho-hum performance against an opponent we didn't care about. Yeah, I have real no thoughts about this. I mean, I still think Shakur Stevenson's a great prospect. I still think he could be one of the greater fighters of the next generation, but this does really nothing to prove that to me. And it was just kind of a sparring session so he can collect a check.
It was a bad sparring session. He definitely gets better work in the gym. I mean, look, I was expecting there to be like these kind of one-sided tune-ups, but that was ridiculous. Like, Mariaga's a tune-up. This guy was 3 levels behind Mariaga. And I'm not disrespecting him. Caraballo came to fight. Like, he did what he was supposed to do. It's just he's out of his league, right? Like, he came in, he tried to get to his body, he tried to walk him down, make him go backwards and be the aggressive. But it was like a man versus a child. It was like, I mean, there's so many levels between Shakur Stevenson. Look, Stevenson did fine. He shined. He was real accurate and clean with his power shots. It was just, I mean, it's like when they put you in the first time you spar with someone who's good. He lights you up a little bit. They just want to see how you take it and how you respond. I mean, this was like a really bad sparring session. To say he was outclassed is an understatement.
Yeah, I don't want to see these fights anymore for Shakur Stevenson. I have no desire for them. Rob, I know you watched the fights, right? Didn't you?
Yes.
What were they on? BT?
Fight TV.
Fight? Ooh.
Yeah.
How was it? What did you think of Shakur's performance?
I mean, look, the kid's good, right? He's good. He's accurate. It's far, it's hard. He was just clearly levels above Cabello, and we knew that going in. He got 400 grand guaranteed purse for a light sparring session. I don't want to be the guy like. We've missed boxing. We've missed it. We wanted some boxing back, but I don't know. Shock horror. I'm kind of on Eddie Hearns' side. If you're going to come back, you've got to come back with kind of competitive fights. I don't see what that card did for boxing. Coming back, like, oh wow, boxing's back, and then it was kind of like, however you say it, Rabisi, like done in 30 seconds. The dude with the haircut. Fuck, what was his name? Quantavious Cash versus
Calvin. Oh, Metcalf. Calvin Metcalf.
Yeah. Metcalf. Shout out to the haircut. Jesus Christ. I mean, that was despite. I think he lost every round. Metcalf. I thought it was mildly competitive. Like it was more of a fight, and then we had Guido just against guys that just shouldn't have really been there.
Here's the deal. I agree with you, Rob, 1,000%. And we need to be critical of these cards. Like, look,
I think they'll get better. The matchup seems like they're going to get better as the weeks go by, as the cards go by. But I don't know what this isn't like better to start with.
This isn't like a coronavirus pandemic specific issue. It's not like boxing cards all of a sudden got bad because we're in a pandemic. Like we make jokes like, oh, it's Top Rank. Top Rank's back. Like they're fully back. This is what we get from Top Rank. That's not a joke. That's reality. Like we get mostly shit cards with mostly shit matchups on TV or streaming services. Like that's most of what we get. I would say 15-20% of the fights we get on TV are actually good competitive matchups. And just because we're in a pandemic doesn't mean that all of a sudden we're going to get better matchups. Like that would be asinine to think that. We're in fact going to get worse matchups, as we just saw. I mean, the only good fight that was on that card, we didn't get because Michaela Mayer popped for coronavirus, for fuck's sake. That was the only decent matchup on the card, and that got fucking booted off because of coronavirus.
Wow. She says it was a false positive.
He's asymptomatic. Deal with it. Sorry. Like, this is the world we live in. We're going to get shit cards. We're going to have good fights get ruined because of the pandemic. The idea that promoters can somehow force great matchups in this environment, and on top of that, like they even want to outside of the environment, is asinine. It's not like promoters are rushing to make great fights all the time without a pandemic. When they have full TV cards, when they have attendance, gate revenue, and they have all this shit pumping, they still make shit matchups. They still give us the KSI Logan Pauls. They still give us all the shit ESPN cards that we've seen time and time again. All the Golden Boy cards that have been shit time and time again. Come on here. Like all the FS1 cards that were shit earlier in the year. The Ugas versus Mike Dallas fucking cards. Like that wasn't a pandemic. That wasn't during the pandemic. No. So the idea that we have to give promoters slack now because they're making shit cards during the pandemic because there's a pandemic is bullshit. They were making shit cards before the pandemic. So, no, fuck promoters. I don't want your excuses. If you're going to give us shit fights, guess what? They're shit fights. We don't want them. I don't want them. When we say we want boxing back, we want it safe and we want good matchups. If you cannot do that, then don't do it. We're good. Give your fighters a fucking monthly check and stipend and make sure everyone's safe and they're good. And we can just survive this shit. Don't waste my fucking time. And when this pandemic's over, still don't waste my goddamn time.
On a plus note, I thought it looked great. I thought production was good. I thought it was like they'd done a good job. Just the shit that went on in the ring wasn't. But I thought it looked good. I didn't like miss a crowd. Shout out! I heard someone say, "It's amazing. It's like what did they say? It's like boxing's back, but it's just in an arena without fans." I'm like, well, yeah, that's exactly what the fuck it is. That is what it is. We knew that going in. Like, wow, it looks great. It's just in an arena with no fans. But yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was good that Andre Ward was at home in his office with all his bouts around him, and Bradley was at home in like a little corner. And shout out to him. He got a little emotional telling a story about having to talk to his kid about why they were pulled by the police, and addressing the Black Lives Matter, just that because black people aren't supposed to have nice cars and things like like trying to explain that's the reason. And he got a little sort of
I didn't see that.
choked up telling the story. So yeah, so on a production front, I thought it was great. But yeah, shout out to the bubble with the casino open next door with thousands of people gambling and fucking drinking. I think about 1 in every 100 had a mask on. Yeah, all good. Just can you just be careful next to the bubble, please? Because they're doing things like trying to do things official, and you guys are just being rowdy. And yeah, shout out to Vegas being open officially.
I see some people in the chat. Shout out to everyone in the chat right now. Nija, Mitty, Scott, Jay, Lord Jacob. You've been on fire in the chat. Just want to say that. A bunch of people in the chat. Just want to say shout out to everyone listening and supporting. Everyone's safe out there. But everyone's saying that I'm getting angry. Damn right I'm getting angry, because all fucking week I've been seeing media douchebags tweet, guys, stop giving Top Rank a rough time, man. Look at what we're dealing with. And it's like, motherfucker, just stop being a groveling sycophant for once in your goddamn life, people. Please. Okay, like, you don't have to give the promoter flack. It's not your goddamn job. Okay, none of these cards are good this week. None of the fights are good. Nothing is good. You don't have to give them flack. You don't have to be their PR. Unless they're paying you to be their PR, don't. Makes you look like a fucking loser.
By the way, most, if not all, of the card for Thursday all miss weight. A lot of them have come back. I don't think the guy that was supposed to make lightweight that weighed in at 141, I don't know if he made it. He has 6 pounds to lose in an hour, but I think Magdaleno and a few of the others, they actually came back to the scales pretty quick and then they'd shed the weight. But yeah, shout out.
There may have been a scale issue, but there's no real excuse for a scale issue because you can get there as early as you want usually and do weight checks. Do
you think the 6 pounds was a scale issue?
That's right. That's not a scale issue. No. Who was it that came in a Top Rank card like 11 pounds overweight? And
was
Aaron, we said at home. I'm not paying for his hotel.
Aaron threw him at the hotel. That was who was it? Who was he supposed to fight? I think.
It was Oscar Valdez's opponent, wasn't it? I forget who it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and the dude that stepped in was pretty decent, right? He put on a good.
He dropped Valdez, didn't he? Who stepped in for him?
I can't remember now. But yeah, he was legit. He came in on literally short notice.
I just remember Bob Arum's rant video and like the host.
Yeah. You went, how the fuck can you be that fucking heavy? Get out. He's shaming him. Jesus.
It was Adam Lopez.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Adam Lopez.
He took that shot. No, he did good. He was doing well.
Yeah, he did do good.
Anyway.
Oh, it was Gucci. Was it Gucci? He was supposed to fight Frampton and slipped in the shower, right? It was that guy that missed weight, wasn't it?
I don't remember who missed weight. I really don't remember.
Yes.
It was the guy that was supposed to fight Frampton. He, the night before the fight, slipped and fell in the shower, busted his face up.
Not when Frampton got hit by a statue. Not that story. That's a different story. But yes, the one you're talking about. Yeah. His opponent split. Yes.
Yeah.
And Frampton had like a weird 9-month span there of injury for him and his opponent. It was odd.
He slipped in the shower.
Just wait. Never mind. I was gonna make a question off there.
There was a pitcher on the Braves on that great team in the 90s, John Smoltz, who missed the start because he burnt himself ironing a shirt he was wearing.
I love
it.
He had the shirt on and he was trying to iron it.
I wasn't there. I didn't see it, but that's what the injury report said. He burnt himself.
Was this burn on his stomach?
I'm guessing his arm. I don't know. I'm like,
can you imagine taking a hot fucking iron? Like back then, it's probably like the old ass irons.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
those things. You can cook fucking meat on those motherfuckers. You can cook a steak on it. Okay, that's what. Okay. Oh my god, that would terrify me.
Shout out to Gary's baseball reference.
Shout out to it.
We need a jingle for that. As soon as it happens,
we need like a little ticker at the bottom.
Yeah,
Gary with baseball references at numbers
baseball reference. Breaking news.
Do you guys really want to talk about the undercard at all? I mean, Jared was Anderson.
Gary does. He wants to go to town on how Jared Anderson is the U.S. prospect of the year.
I have just a couple thoughts about it. I never want to see the Guido guy ever again in my life. I just don't care. Jared Anderson, that was a fun fight because they just slugged it out for however many rounds it went. Like they were just in the pocket slugging. But that's kind of like a club level heavyweight fight that turned out to be kind of entertaining. But that's clearly the ceiling they're at. And I I actually didn't see the Robbie Ramirez fight. I'll be honest. I missed the Robbie Ramirez fight.
Yeah, if your stream buffered for a little while, you would have missed it. No, that's harsh on Guido, man. I just don't want to see him against that guy again.
I just don't care.
He's got good jab.
You know, like how I'm a little bit hard. You know how I'm a little bit skeptical.
Hateful.
No, skeptical. I'm gonna use the word skeptical of like people like Filip Hrgović.
No.
Well, I'm skeptical of Filip Hrgović, by the way. In terms of like his ceiling, Guido is like the poor man's Filip Hrgović. So that's what I view.
You just legit hate boxing. I don't know why you do this.
I hate bad boxing. I hate bad boxing. I will be adamant and very open that bad boxing is the bane of my existence. Yeah.
Bad heavyweight boxing is.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Fucking worst.
That's on the opponent, though. He obviously shouldn't have been in there with Guido. Guido's all right. I don't know why you're.
He just looked like a very basic, tall heavyweight. I didn't get any. Poor man's Hellenius. Poor man's Wanaki. Poor man's Gorman. Anybody that's tall, that fights like a tall guy, like that.
Gorman and Helenia and Kaunaki aren't exactly tall, are they?
They fight like tall guys. Like they don't crouch at all. They don't hunch down. They don't roll. They don't duck undershots. They just purely stand upright and throw jabs, straight shots, and hooks. Like that's all they do. They stand very up. They fight like tall fighters.
They fight like fat guys.
That too.
Yeah, this is, and I want to get back to Jared Anderson because I think I'm going to have a different view than y'all on him. But
is he from Texas?
No, he's from Ohio.
Oh, okay. I was just checking.
I thought Ramirez looked sharp.
Huh?
The armpit of America. Have you ever? Columbus is okay, but you have even like Cincinnati, Cleveland, Dayton, like.
Sorry, guys. I had to stop him Skype every state in America apart from Texas.
Gary, do you forget about Oklahoma?
Where's that? Like the nostril?
It's like right in the
Nothing's as bad as like
Gary, you
belly button.
Hold on, Gary. You keep cutting in and out. Are you on Wi-Fi? If you're on Wi-Fi, go on Ethernet. If you're not on Wi-Fi, just refresh. Don't know what to tell you. Oh wow, that's a terrifying freeze frame there, Gary.
frozen?
You keep freezing, so you should probably refresh your page.
All right, let me.
Right.
All right, let me refresh.
Or get off dial-up.
I'm not.
Rob, I mean, are you really high on like Guido or
not really high? But I just thought you were like you never want to see him again. I'm like, you're so harsh.
That's definitely harsh. Definitely harsh. It's mainly because the card is such shit. And again, I'll say it again. The fact that I had so many media members on my timeline keep saying, "Hey guys, don't talk shit about the card. Don't talk shit about the card." Like that made me so aggravated and made me want to yell and rant about this card. Not because of the fights per se, because of how the media treated this card like it was this saving grace from God that saved the industry. And it's like, no, it's a shit card. They give us that all the time.
That again, that's not Guido's fault. Poor Guido.
No, it's not Guido's fault. It's not Jared Anderson's fault. It's not Shakur's fault. It's not Robbie Ramirez's fault. It's the promotion, the network's fault. And then the media's fault for just allowing it to happen time and time again and never criticizing it.
Okay. Have a little woosah then. Let me and Gary tee off on Jared Anderson.
As far as my paisan, look, Timo Navarro, Benissimo, it was good work, right? Like, but the opponent was so bad. I understand what Matt's saying, right? Like, to me, he looked like a heavyweight version, a 6'6" version of Mick Conlon. Like, he's got skills. Like, I mean, he's got a good jab. Like, whoever taught him how to fight did good, but there's nothing there. Like, he's got good footwork for a guy who's 6'6". But like, anything I'm going to say is going to be with a caveat of a guy who's 6'6". Like, he doesn't look to have a lot of power. I know he's good at knockout. Like, he doesn't sit down. He looks like a good amateur. Like, that's what he looks like to me. You know, like, I don't know. Like, he could be a decent heavyweight, 15 to 20 maybe. Can you get that high, Matt? Top 15 to top 20, somewhere in that range.
Maybe like for a 6-month run. Sure.
I'm even a little high on the Mavs, but I didn't see anything in there. And look, he's 26, and that's not old for a heavyweight. That's still young for a heavyweight, but he's also not 19, 20 like Jared Anderson. Like, I don't think there's much of a ceiling for this guy. I think if he can get to a level where he's a top 20 guy, He's marketable. He'll sell in New York where there's a lot of Italians, and New Jersey. Like, he can be a decent B-side if you want to get your guys some work. But I mean,
a gladiator mask. Come on.
I like him. I'm a fan. I said last time I'm going to root for him.
Are you not entertained?
I was looking forward to seeing him, and like I looked at him, I said, that's a heavyweight version of Mick Conlon. That's a good amateur who's not going to really do much as a pro.
Gary, be completely objective here, as much as you can be, okay? I should say, as much as you can be. If he was an Italian, would you give 2 fucks about Guido?
No, I didn't care about him until I asked y'all last show, should I root for him? You're like, yeah, okay, so now I'm a fanboy.
Rob said that. Rob was like, yeah, big up Guido. I mean, he sparred with Tyson Fury, so I mean,
all right.
I mean, he must be great.
That wasn't my reasoning.
That's like, don't put me in that, y'all. Yeah.
Said that. I mean, we can run back.
Just be patriotic. Back your guy, which is why he's backing Jared Anderson as well.
No, I think Anderson's got good speed. I think Anderson he's 20. I'm not saying he's going to be heavyweight champion in 5 years, right? Like, he's got a future, that kid. I see skills in him. Okay.
Something else. I'm joking. No,
I'll be honest. I see maybe he can like hit a top 15 spot and like out there for a year or two. But like, that's like all I see right now. He's small. Jared Anderson looks small to me as a heavyweight. He looks like a guy that could cut down to cruiserweight that just doesn't.
He could, but I'm saying, like, the goal, I would think, by the time he's 27, 28, is to add 15, 20 pounds onto him. Like, I'm not saying it's like Tristan Calcruth, the kid from Dallas.
How tall is he? How tall is Jared Anderson? Rob, do you have it up by chance? Can you look at how tall Jared Anderson is? I'm curious. 6'4"? Okay.
I think he's 6'4".
That's heavyweight size. Yeah. Like, I think that's more, like, look at his progression, but don't think like he's Daniel Dubois, like he's going to be fighting for a title in 2 or 3 years. Like, it's just chill on the expectations and let him mature. The same way I said, like, Tristan Calcruth, just work with him. This isn't an immediate thing. This is a long-term investment that maybe 6-7 years out.
Okoli beats Jared Anderson.
Yo, I might actually fucking agree with Rob. Oh my!
How old is Okoli though? Because Jared Anderson's 19, isn't he?
I don't know. Yeah, he's young. Yeah, he is young. I don't know how old Okoli is. I'm not sure. Get over it, Matt.
Rob, I don't think I've ever thought anything positive about Okoli in my fucking life. And you think that, like, oh my god, that's true.
Yeah,
I think because Okoli, he could dictate the range with his jab and just make it a boring fight and win a decision. He could do that. Jared Anderson, to me, seems like a guy that, like, he likes to be in the pocket, he likes to throw down, he likes to throw in combination. But I didn't see him being this, like, really overpowering figure in terms of size or in terms of punching power. I didn't get that. I saw kind of like Wanaki to a degree, where it's like, yeah, like he could be fun in some fights at some point, but clearly never gonna break past a certain technical level or a physical level or athletic level. Like, that's just not him. I kind of get that with Jared Anderson to a degree, where it's just like I see him kind of just being a fun mid-card guy. And that's fine. You can have a career out of that, especially as a heavyweight. But that's kind of what I see right now. I don't see him being a guy that you can take a good 8 years of time, where he's like 28 now, and be something. I don't see that. Maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong before. I've been wrong a lot. Like, that's nothing new. But I just don't see it personally right now for Jared Anderson.
What I'm saying is, in 6-7 years, he'll be Guido's age. Like, I think there's enough talent and athleticism skills that by the time he's 26, 27, he can be a legitimate top 10 guy and be in a position to challenge for a world title. If I asked you right now, just more of an upside, him or FA, who would you take?
I'll take FA.
Okay. I'll take Jared Anderson.
But it's close. Like, it's not like we're honestly probably splitting hairs too.
Okay.
I don't think FA is ever going to probably break into the top 10. To be honest, I don't see that happening. But you compare, because you're higher on Jared Anderson than I am. Would you compare him to like a Jared Enos, where it's like a guy that you can take the long road for? It's going to be the independent road probably, but he's going to be a player at some point in the division just by momentum at some point.
I think that's a fair comparison. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see that yet.
Okay.
But I can see you making that comparison.
make sure you know your heavyweight boxing knowledge here, guys. We've got Boxing Squared in the chat. So
Boxing Square.
shout out. Yeah, just from what I saw, just not quite there on board with Jared Anderson yet. He's supposed to be the next big hope for American heavyweights, and I think, yeah, maybe a diamond in the rough. Who knows? It's like I say, he's really young, so we will see. And then I don't even know. Did we talk about Shakur really? I don't know.
I talked about it. I know Gary did.
I just want to pump the brakes on the next Mayweather shit. I've just seen so many. Like,
I don't think I said that earlier. I know you kind of, when I said I can still see him being one of the next, great fighters of the next generation. I think that's absolutely possible. Him, Haney's, Lopez. There's certain guys, Daniel Dubois, like certain guys I just see as kind of carrying the torch 5-ish years from now, so to speak, when a lot of these guys maybe are closer to that veteran status. And this doesn't sway that opinion. It's just kind of, it's like a sparring match that you got to check for. So I need to see him fight a top 10 guy. Like I need to see him fight a Xu Shan or a Josh Warrington, of course. Need to gauge his greatness.
He's staying at 130 now. He's not going back, so he's vacating.
That's okay. Fight Miguel Berchelt. If he fights Miguel Berchelt, I'm happy. Like I'm not mad at all.
Yeah, because luckily for him, hot take, Kid Galahad beats Shakur Stevenson.
Right now?
Yeah.
I'm not upset with that pick. I'm not upset with anyone picking any of the top 5 guys against Shakur because Shakur's unproven.
Russell beats him, and that's it.
I could see an argument for Josh Warrington. I could see an argument for Xu Shan. I could see an argument for a lot of guys because we have not seen him fight any top 10 talent. Sorry. And let's be honest here. There's moments even Caballero was pressing him up against the ropes and was able to land combinations to a degree. Shakur wasn't really getting phased by it at all because it's the opposition in front of him. But if that was Warrington, if that was Xu Shan, if that was certain other people, maybe Shakur's technique or lack and combination of lack of power is going to be able to save him against certain guys. That's absolutely possible. He's fought Joet Gonzalez, for fuck's sake. That's not a barometer for Josh Warrington.
Joet's good. I want to ask a real question about his lack of power, though. I think he's fine at 126, 130, but if he goes higher than 130, he goes to 135, which I'm sure he wants to. Is his lack of power, is that going to be an issue?
I think to a degree it already is. I don't know. It depends on the opponent, I think.
No. Rob, I think you're 100% right. We can't even say that his power is not an issue now at 126 because he hasn't fought anyone of note at 126 pounds. Now he's at 130. And kind of like Rob, I probably am leaning like 55% of he might be staying at 130 and not dealing with the weight cut anymore. And then you can just give the belt to Michael Conlon and, you help out a stablemate in your promotion. I can see that happening. Like, honestly, that shouldn't be an issue. And plus, you still have good opponents in your stable at 130. Like, it should not be an issue as long as he fights good opposition at 130. But here's the thing. Rob is absolutely right that his lack of power could and may be an issue in these weight classes, let alone 135, which I think it will be. Look at guys like Tifim Lopez or even Lomachenko. Their level of power is significantly different than Shakur Stevenson.
At 130, I was looking at this Berchelt, like a guy like that who likes to press you. If his power's good enough to keep Berchelt off of him and just good enough to stop him from walking in the front door, he schools him, right? But if he can't, he's in a lot of trouble. Like if that power is not enough to keep Berchelt off of him, Berchelt just eats it like cupcakes and walk through and presses him, Berchelt's going to beat him at 130. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but that's the only guy I could see at 130 who would be a major issue for him. Like the other guys, Jamel Herring's not a puncher either. You know what I'm saying?
Leo Santa Cruz.
I already put him at 35. If he came back to 130, I love that fight.
He is at. What do you mean? The Gervonta Davis fights at 130.
Oh, you're right.
So we can even
Santa Cruz would be that'd be a lot of trouble.
We can include Gervonta Davis in this mix if he makes 130 again.
You're gonna make 130.
But hey, guys, come on. We can dream.
You teed it up. You teed it up, and we laughed at it.
I know. I mean, Carl Frampton, I think, has a lot of success against Shakur Stevenson right now, even though it's not really a power factor. I just think that Carl Frampton is a really good technician. He could box well with Shakur. But I do think that the Miguel Berchelt fight, if they make that in the next, let's say, 12 months, that's the fight where we can maybe make the jump in determining how great Shakur will be. Because if he wins that and he wins it in very convincing fashion, then maybe those Mayweather comparisons could come back. Honestly, I don't think that would be a far off thing.
Yeah, if he Diego Corrales him and he beats him like that, then yeah. But that's what he's got to do for a Mayweather comparison.
No, like if he does, beats like Gennaro Hernandez, just schools a kind of a borderline Hall of Famer to a degree. Or like Miguel Berchel's been there for a while, fought great opposition. Like he is a guy that you kind of want to see the next generation fight. And if he beats him, man, I think we can sort of talk about Shakur as the next great American fighter. When right now we can't because he hasn't fought anyone of note. But guys, any other thoughts on this top rank card that happened? We're going to move on. Let's move on. Golden Boy President Eric Gomez was talking to Miguel Rivera over at Boxing Scene about what's next for Canelo Alvarez. And guys, it's not going to be Triple G, but let me read off the list of opponents now that are on the table. Caleb Plant, Jaime Munguia, Billy Joe Saunders, Dave Benavidez, David Lemieux, Sergey Derevchenko, and Anthony Durrell.
Very quick. DAZN have apparently said no to Durrell. They haven't approved Durrell. Munguia, Lemieux, and Terriano Johnson were offered to Canelo, and Canelo said no. Canelo wants the Caleb Plant fight, apparently. Billy Joe Saunders is just too much money right now from what was agreed in the first place.
Wait, Canelo wants the Caleb Plant fight?
Yeah, apparently. According to sources, Coppinger on the Pug and Cop show, that's what he's being told from the camp.
By the way, that's very bad branding nowadays in today's climate. Just want to say that.
Huh?
Pug and Cop. No one got to go? Come on.
Yeah.
Move on. You can continue with your story. Sorry. No one joked.
That's what they said. That's what Coppinger said regarding what he's hearing from inside the Canelo camp. That Terriano Johnson, Munguia, and Lemieux were offered by Golden Boy, and he was like, no thanks. And then DAZN have said they're not interested in a Durrell fight. I don't even know what's going to happen anymore. I ain't going to be planned. I don't think.
Well, here's the issue, because we know DAZN doesn't offer. We know DAZN does not want to offer Billy Joe Saunders money, and I think Caleb Plant would probably be asking for Billy Joe Saunders level money for that fight. Because we know they offered him a contract or a fight. 3 months ago? When was this?
It was after his fight, wasn't it? It was after his fight with
Vegan Butts. Yeah. It was somewhere around that time. I think Caleb Plant obviously values himself highly and wants to really collect big with the Canelo fight. So the idea that they're going to find a cheaper opponent than Billy Joe Saunders with Caleb Plant doesn't seem likely, even though Canelo wants it. So that maybe takes Caleb Plant off the table.
Plant said he's in the picture, but they need to come correct. So basically, the money's got to be right.
It's got to be money, and I think that's a DAZN issue. That's where DAZN comes.
Reading into this, and Keith Idek mentioned, because it's more like, obviously, Golden Boy have got their budget. They get their, DAZN are like, right, there's your money, Matchroom, they've got their budget. So this is Golden Boy is seeking to pay up to almost like half of what Billy Joe was getting. So we're looking at around $4 million for an opponent. So
as I will get into with the Ryan Garcia topic, I'm going to use DAZN and Golden Boy almost interchangeably from now on. And I think people should understand why. Both of the monetary investment that DAZN has in Golden Boy, and plus, let's be honest, at no point do we ever see them not be on the same page. I would say.
So if y'all had to take a guess right now, who would you put your money on that says it's going to be Canelo's next opponent?
Derevchenko.
That's what I'm saying too.
Maybe Derevchenko comes back into it. I think it's probably the cheapest opponent. You can make him come to 168. I think DAZN will approve it because maybe they liked how he performed against Triple G. That's what I'm thinking here. That's where I'm leaning, because Billy Joe Saunders, Dave Benavidez, Caleb Plant, they're too much money. Canelo refused Jaime Munguia as he should, thank God, because that would be a fucking dog walk. I'm telling you, he would dog walk Munguia around that fucking ring. It'd be bad. David Lemieux, no one wants to see that, thank God. And as Rob said, DAZN does not want Anthony Durrell, and no one does. So thank God.
I want to pose a question to both of y'all about Caleb Plant, because that's the fight we'd all want, right? If we could pick one of those, we'd all pick Caleb Plant. Benavidez?
I'll be honest. Plant, Blazer Saunders, Benavidez. If any one of those 3 fights happen next, I'm happy.
I want it to be for a bout. I don't want I don't see if
all three of those guys have belts, so that's why.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. So any of the other guys, fuck out of it. I ain't interested.
Did you watch Mosley or Marquez versus Mayweather? Because they weren't for belts. Were we into those fights? I mean, at a certain point, Canelo is bigger than a belt now. It doesn't matter.
You just compared Mayweather Mosley to Canelo David Lemieux.
What I'm saying is you're watching it because of Canelo, right? And what I'm saying is the belt, the Canelo fight is bigger than a title fight. It's a Canelo fight. You know what I'm saying?
Mayweather Berto, I didn't care so much. Mayweather Mosley, I was more invested.
Mayweather Mosley wasn't for a belt. Mosley had to be. Yeah.
That matchups matter.
Yeah.
But what Rob is saying that like these other fights aren't for a belt probably at 168 because most likely all we've been hearing is it's a 168 fight, right? So him fighting David Lemieux, even Derevchenko.
David Lemieux would weigh 168 if it was at middleweight.
Anthony Durrell, Jaime Munguia, these will all be non-title fights at 168 most likely. Unless they pull. Yeah, he feels first against. Okay.
Gary, you all right? Got something in your eye?
Really bad headache over there from Gary. Oh, Gary, you're back. Hi, Gary. Does he know where he's back? I don't know.
Am I back?
Yeah, I think you are.
Yeah,
can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can see you too.
All right. Allegedly.
But anyways, digressing. Is anyone upset that Triple G's off the table?
No, we knew that anyway.
No.
But just because you know it doesn't mean you're not upset by it. Okay. Would you rather have Triple G over Plant, Saunders, or Benavidez, even though those fights aren't happening?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I want to see a third fight. I mean, if it's going to happen, it needs to happen like this year. I think that's it, because I don't know how much more we're gonna see of Triple G before it's like just beyond ridiculous having that fight. A lot of people feel that way anyway because of the Sergey Derevchenko performance. I think that's a bit harsh just off of one sort of allegedly bad showing. But
it was the Steve Rolls performance too. It was, I mean, it's Steve Rolls and Steve Rolls, but that was not a good performance.
I mean, he knocked the guy clean out.
Let me change the question up slightly for Gary, because he is so negative about that Derevchenko performance, calls it a robbery, right? Like more so than you, right, Rob?
The worst decision in the history of sports.
I love it. Since Triple G's off the table and me and you both agree that it's probably going to be Derevchenko now against Canelo, would you rather see Canelo Derevchenko, or would you rather see Canelo Triple G 3?
I got two. I think Canelo Triple G is a better fight because I think Triple G knows how to fight Canelo. And I think Derevchenko stylistically is all wrong for Canelo. But like Derevchenko deserves that Canelo fight. He deserves that Canelo money because he beat Triple G.
Wait,
but Triple G beat Canelo twice.
I didn't score it that way. I know other people saying I scored both those fights for Canelo, and I thought Derevchenko beat Triple G. I would rather if for my money, I'd rather see Triple G because I think it's a more competitive fight. But Derevchenko deserves the fight. Like Derevchenko fought himself into a Canelo fight by beating.
Proved yourself to be a Triple G hater. I'm sure.
Quickly, hold on.
I thought Jacobs beat him too. How about that?
I was about to ask that question.
I have 0-4 in those 4 fights. No, they could all go the
Triple G.
Besides the Derevchenko fight, the other 3 fights could all go the other. I thought Canelo beat him the second fight too. 2 of those fights could easily go the other way. The first Canelo fight, every round I thought was close, and the Jacobs fight could have easily gone another way. I don't think those 2 fights were bad decisions necessarily. You know what I'm saying? Like they could have gone either way.
But wait, you just said that Sergey Derevchenko is technically all wrong for Canelo. You picking Sergey Derevchenko?
No, and meaning like
No.
no path of success against Canelo. While Triple G obviously has shown that he can fight competently.
Oh, okay. He's all wrong on a personal note. Not it's bad for Canelo.
He's all wrong. He's gonna walk right into Canelo's heavy artillery, and it's gonna look like the Kirkland fight. Like it's not gonna be. Yeah.
Your sentence was kind of
it's an easy matchup for Canelo, stylistically speaking. While Triple G, from his pedigree, is still difficult for anyone because he still has a great boxing base. Period. While Derevchenko is still kind of a inside brawler. Let's just be honest about it. He's a boxer puncher.
Baker knocked him down, didn't he? Golovkin knocked him down.
First round.
Yeah. So moving up to 168 against Canelo.
Actually, Canelo right now, man. Whew.
Whereas Triple G, he just hasn't been down yet, right?
No, he has not.
At least he's going to stand up and potentially go the distance. We'll have another show to talk about.
I can't wait for Triple G to get finished in a fight and for the Triple G fanboys to cry. I'm just going to be completely honest.
Straight evil. Yeah, fuck, there's something wrong with you.
Be honest about it. I'm just going to be honest about it. You know, guys, like I'm just going to be honest on these shows from now on. I'm not going to have any filter from now on. You thought I was raw and ranting before? No, I had filters.
No more. Let me tell you now.
No more.
Just to tie it up, I will plead the fact that there was something going on with Canelo's gloves if Triple G loses. So, you know.
Did he pull his hand halfway down the glove?
I'll make videos on it.
Magically give himself more knockout power that way?
And his water was spiked.
It's going to be hard to finish Triple G. He's got like a Carl Froch, a Provodnikov type of chin. Like it's going to be hard to finish him.
Yeah,
no, it's not. Bitch, look at Roy Jones.
I think Triple G's heavily embroidered robe could weigh 40 pounds. So maybe the legs will go. That will be the reason. Something like that.
I think Triple G gets finished in the next big fight he's in. I will go on the ledge.
You think Zero Matters that good?
Stop right now, Rob. I will fly to the UK right now, beat your ass, regardless.
I'll put the kettle on.
All right, let's move on, guys. Just for the sake of time, because we do have a lot more topics to get to. Actually,
by the way,
someone Garcia talked about
the gloves worn by Ali during his contentious fight. Where is it? I lost it. Humiliating Patterson in the ring. Were bought by Ultimate Fighting Championship CEO Lorenzo Fertitta.
Yep.
At a charity auction in Las Vegas for $1.1 million, the highest price ever paid for a piece of Muhammad Ali memorabilia. But I'm trying to nail it down to.
That's probably the most I would assume, right? It's Ali.
I don't know.
Like Ali's our Jordan, so like it has to be the.
There's like Sonny Liston gloves when he first won the title went for $836,000.
Yeah, Rob, I don't think your glove that you got at like some dinner is going to be worth it.
Signed. These gloves aren't signed. The Rumble in the Jungle.
He wore them in like significant fights. Like that's why they're so valuable.
I'm not saying I'm going to fucking buy Fight Island with them, Matt. I'm just.
All right, Rob. Let's just. I want an estimate here from you, okay? I want an estimate here from you. Let's say Fury beats Wilder in the rematch, beats AJ twice next year, and retires. Just walks off on the sunset. Okay. 10 years from now, you sell that glove. What's the price of it? Just guess.
Right now, as it is, they're about £400. So I might get 1,000 out of it. I might get 1,000.
I think you're underselling that. I think it might be like $5,000 in like 10 years from now. Look, hey, you're like laughing here, Gary, but you had like bullshit like baseball cards that weren't even signed. Okay, like no one cares. Okay, he has a signed boxing glove, and let's say again in the hypothetical world where Fury retires undisputed, undefeated, beats every guy in his era, and walks off in the sunset. And 10 years from now, it's worth at least $3 or $4 grand.
When he's a Hall of Famer, you know what?
Let's start the auction right now. Look at that. Beautiful.
I start the auction. Super chats. Let's get the highest bidder.
You should try to sell that when he gets
500.
his Hall of Fame induction weekend. If he does get there, you should try to sell that glove. That's when you should try to sell it.
That might be like the peak. Or when he dies. Not to be morbid, but like that's kind of
Fuck, you're so fucking dark. It's unreal. There's something wrong with you. You need help. It's so morbid. It's unbelievable. I don't want to see fucking Guido ever again. Tyson Fury's gonna die. That's when you should sell it, Rob.
Guido, if you're listening, I apologize, Guido. Like I do want to see you again, but just no, I don't. You're not the next Tyson Fury. Let's stop comparing you to that person. Stop. He spars with Tyson Fury. Like, who gives a shit? Like, people I've seen spar with Deontay Wilder. Doesn't mean they're gonna be the heavyweight champion of the world. Guaranteed.
I guarantee you, Guido gets the better of the sparring with Tyson Fury. That I guarantee you.
Guido done interview. Fury was very, very aggressive in his sparring while he was getting ready for that fight. But Bob Arum, I think, trying to sell this this Tuesday night fights, that Jared Anderson was the key to the success of Fury being Wilder. I think Fury's heaped a lot of praise on Jared Anderson, probably to help sell the fight, which I did send the viewing figures for, by the way, just if you wanted to recap the ESPN card. It was like 340 something thousand views peak.
I think the average was like 300,000 something though, right?
I didn't see an average. It was just, I think what I got was from Jedi Goodman.
Oh, was it just a peak then? It was below 400,000 then. I pulled up right now. It was in the topics chat, wasn't it? Right here. No, it was an average. It was average. It wasn't peak.
Oh.
The return of Top Rank Boxing on ESPN averaged 397,000 views.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought 50 million people were supposed to be watching.
That is a little light. I thought it just because there's all the sports on. Like I thought 500,000, 600,000, 700,000 would be
sport.
And here's the thing, people. Okay, with those out there with those stupid think pieces of how boxing's gonna boom because we're the only thing in town if we come back, you're fucking stupid. You know why? You know why? Because boxing produces this content, and guess what? The average entertainment consumer doesn't want to consume this fucking content on a Tuesday afternoon night. Nah, we just got done with work. We're bored. I mean, listen to a podcast, watch The Office on Netflix. I got dozens of things I'd rather do than watch four people that I may or may not know. But let's be honest, if I'm a mainstream entertainment consumer, I don't know any of these fuckers. So no, I'm not watching that. Why would I? I don't know who these people are. These aren't fights that ring a bell. I might not even know if it's live, for fuck's sake. Let's be honest. If you're just channel scrolling and you see Shakur Stevenson versus Felix Caballero and you have no idea who those people are you tuning in? No. So, sorry, those idiot media members that thought that if boxing just forces back through a pandemic, we can have a boom period while putting on shit garbage fights.
I would go in the bucket of stupid people. I thought it would do good.
I love you, Gary, but that was a stupid idea. It was always stupid. It was.
I didn't think it was going to do millions of views. I thought it would do close to twice that number. 5, 6, 600,000 at least. I really did.
But here's the thing: if you put on the same shitty content we did pre-pandemic, then why would there be a boom? Why would there be a huge boost in views or anything like that? We saw with the UFC pay-per-view that was, I don't know about the one that just happened last weekend in terms of pay-per-view buys, but the one like a month ago, right? That did far over in terms of the estimation. Like I was estimating it was going to do maybe 300,000 pay-per-view buys, and it did near 800,000 pay-per-view buys. Far exceeded my estimation and pretty much everyone else. But they stacked that card, and ESPN pushed it like a motherfucker, okay? And Shakur Stevenson's not pushed. Top Rank's not pushed. This wasn't a big card. It was a average Friday boxing card that's on a Tuesday instead with little to no name recognition on it. Like, of course we got those numbers. This should not be shocking.
Yeah. Like we're a niche sport, unless it's like something gigantic. It's got to go some just to break out of the niche.
And not only
And
that,
even then, it's still like nichey, if you know what I mean.
And not only that, like you have to promote it correctly. Like, look at Wilder Fury. I think is a great example. Like the first fight, and compared it to the second fight in terms of pay-per-view buy rate. There's a difference. Why? Because of the promotional difference. It's right there in front of you. Same thing goes with the Low Tiny Tuesday night card. If no one is aware of it, then why would anyone watch it? Guys, any other thoughts, or you want to move on?
I haven't really been watching ESPN much since there's been no sports. But did they promote that at all? Not really.
No. I see Dana White on it on ESPN all the time, though. But because they
got a lot of money invested in him, yeah.
They have a lot of money invested in the UFC comparative to Top Rank. Like that's just why. Let's move on though. Speaking of Top Rank, Lomachenko Lopez, guys. Bob Arum is saying maybe it'll happen at Allegiant Stadium with 10,000 fans. Allegiant Stadium being the new Raiders Stadium in Las Vegas.
That's a near sellout, right?
Near sellout. I knew you were going to make that joke. And Rob, that's why our friendship would never die, because we will say inside jokes from 2 years ago. Like it.
Yeah. It's funny to us.
And no one else, but it's okay.
It's our show.
Yeah. That's so true. Guys, thoughts on this happening? Lomachenko Lopez, Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, 10,000 fans out of a 65,000 seat arena. Thoughts on that being a possibility? Gary, I go to you first.
I think it would be in the best interest for Teofimo to wait for this to pass and fight him at the Garden. But hell with it. I just want this fight, so let's do it. I'm so into this fight. Like, I don't care if it's in Teofimo's best career interest, like big picture wise. I just want this fight, so that's fine. Like, I don't care as long as I get to watch it. I don't care where they do it, but for the interest of the fight, I think it would be best to do it in Madison Square Garden when this is all over with.
Gary, you moving to New York or something? You want every fucking fight in MSG? It's
the mecca of boxing, Rob. You have a New York kid against Loma who has sold well before there in the past. Like, where do you want to put it? Wembley?
Who did he sell well against?
I think Staples could have an argument.
Okay, you could yeah. See, I don't like fights in Vegas, right? Because there's no sports media in Vegas if you go there now, right? New York and LA are the media capitals of the world, at least the country, right? So, like, you can hype the fight there weeks out. You can start selling it, interviewing these guys and putting them on all the different media outlets way before fight week. In Vegas, it's like, if you go there now, there's no media there. There's no teams there. There's no sports besides boxing on fight week.
And there's gamblers without masks right now. So you got
what fight has Canelo done in the big MSG, the big ring, or whatever they call it?
That was Rocky Fielding, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did I say Canelo? I meant Loma. Sorry.
Has he done one in the big one?
Yeah, he's recently.
Was it Linares?
Corolla?
No, that was in LA. That was in LA.
It was in LA. He fought Rigo there. That was in the small building for some reason.
Yes, it was.
Because he's not a draw, Gary. You keep saying he's sold well, but he's not. I don't think Loma's a draw. I honestly don't.
No, Loma's not a draw. At least from a gate perspective, he's not.
No.
Not when. Let me rephrase that. He's not a draw in comparison to the big gate draws we talk about.
He's not. To me, he's not a star. Do you know what I mean?
Pedraza.
He's a decent TV draw. I'll put it that way. Loma traditionally does very good numbers on TV.
Yeah.
But in terms of the gate, no, he's never done huge crowds. He's never done huge gate revenues. He's done decent gate revenues respective to his crowd. I'll say that. Right? When he fought Rigo in the small theater with only 4,000, 5,000 people, the gate revenue was still pretty high for that, even though it was only 4,000 to 5,000 people, right? Because the ticket prices, all that stuff.
Linares was in the big building too.
I was gonna say, I thought maybe if they'd done one, it was Linares, because
it was Linares and Pedraza. They both fought in the big room, and then Rigo was in the small room.
I'll say this though: I think Loma is the closest thing to a star in the lightweight division.
Yeah, star's a relative word. I mean,
except for Javante, he's it. Emma Javante is not like a big star. He's just a boxing star. He's one that draws within our industry.
Yeah. I think outside of that, it's probably, even though he's fought no one, is Ryan Garcia, right, with a huge following and like
He's just on that
maybe potential, maybe, but
he has less of a track record with TV and with attendance like Javante or Lomachenko. But you're right. I mean, he's definitely on the come up. He's probably going to be one of those people we talk about with drawing power. We will in the next topic, of course.
And he also gets promotions because he doesn't beat women.
Damn. Shots fired.
Like, get him right.
Yeah, King Rye. Yeah. But I thought I was leading you into that next topic, Matt. That's why I said it.
You want to go right into that?
Yeah.
Well, what were we talking about?
Loma Lopez. I mean, do we think it happens in Las Vegas?
Yeah, I think we get the fight, but it's not going to happen in that fucking big football stadium. Let's just get out of it.
If you can sell 10,000 tickets there, do it.
They could.
No,
10,000 is not impossible. Not in Vegas, not with comps, like they could do that.
Right.
I think it's possible. Now, if you tell me they were trying to fill out the 65,000 seater like pre-pandemic, I'd be like, no, that's a joke, Rob. Ha ha. But a 10,000 seater, that's like the Forum, or like smaller than the Forum. So if you told me Loma Lopez was at the Forum, I'd be like, that makes perfect sense.
So he had said this in regards to the fact that it would be still Corona semi like lockdown, low crowds, using a big stadium to fit in 10,000.
Yes. Like what we talked about.
Otherwise, what's the point of doing a huge football stadium if you can just do it in an arena with 10,000 people in it? It was what I was kind of. So it's purely to get 10,000 in, but you need a 65-seater to get 10,000 people in.
Yes, right now you do. Yes. Because you can't go to the MGM right now and do 14,000 right now.
No.
Because that's closed to the public, I would presume.
Yeah.
And then we talk about this. That stadium is an outdoor stadium. Like they have a moonroof, as we would say, right?
That was Cowboy Stadium, right? I thought
they both have moonroof or sunroof. Put that in the comments. What do you call the thing on top of your car that slides open? A moonroof or a sunroof?
This was like for those in the chat, this was like a multi-day argument in our group chat between Rob and Gary. Multi-day.
I've never heard moonroof in my fucking life.
A moonroof is a sunroof that's tinted, but they're all tinted now, so they're moonroofs. I don't know why it's called a moonroof. It makes no sense. I agree, but that's what they're called.
Yeah, why do you need it tinted and then call it the moonroof? The moon isn't distracting. The sun needs to be tinted to stop the sun, right? So sunroof. Come on, people in the chat. You know what makes sense.
Anyways, guys, let's talk about Ryan Garcia, who's upset with the Zone / Golden Boy again. He was, speaking of Ryan Garcia, supposed to fight July 4th. He had obviously, and we talked about this, I think, on the last show. He made a post about saying he's not fighting on the card. Hector Tenahara came out, all this stuff. I mean, where do we start here, guys? According to Garcia, I'll read some of it. According to Garcia, DAZN's not offering up the necessary funds to make that card happen. And they're also not allowing him to fight anywhere else, which is due to the streaming service exclusive contract with Golden Boy. According to Garcia, his fight in July fell through because DAZN is only willing to offer $200,000. Quote, that's bullshit, Garcia said to Chris Mannix of Sports Illustrated. Quote, why am I being held back financially? What is the problem here? Why is DAZN giving out big numbers to guys fighting nobodies?
Let
me try to get through this without laughing too much.
Oh, okay.
It's fucked up how I'm being treated. I'm not asking for $100 million. Just give me the check I deserve. How am I one of the biggest fighters in the world, and I get bigger paychecks outside of boxing? Should I keep reading it? Should I read the other part? I'm not saying anything about Golden Boy. I'm not going to worry about Golden Boy, what Golden Boy is doing right now. I just want my direct line. I'm tired of going through middlemen. DAZN needs to call me. I need to hear from them why stuff can happen. You have Shakur Stevenson going on Tuesday night. Why is ESPN going and not me?
Fucking hell. He's got tickets on himself, that boy. He sounds like Daniel LaRusso when he got sick of doing up Mr. Miyagi's garden. and like throwing a fit. Like, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. You're supposed to be teaching me karate, but all I'm doing is fucking fixing up your garden. I will never stop saying that Daniel LaRusso and Ryan Garcia have got similarities in their appearance.
They're the same person. It's okay. If they were going to remake Karate Kid and like actually like have it be Daniel LaRusso, like you would just have it be Ryan Garcia. It's the same person.
Yeah.
Pretty sure there's time traveler situation going on there. But Gary, since Rob wants to make jokes, any serious thoughts about this, Gary?
I actually met Daniel LaRusso, and I called him Daniel LaRusso. He's like, it's Ralph Macchio. I was like, no, it's not.
Straight up. All right, Daniel-san.
I don't even remember his name and My Cousin Vinny. I don't even remember what it was. It's just Daniel LaRusso.
No one remembers the character's name in My Cousin Vinny because it doesn't matter.
He's Daniel LaRusso.
There.
Did you do the crane? Did you put your arms out? And
I didn't. Like, I have a cousin who owns a fish market out in Long Island. Like, he just eats there. Like, he lives in Long Island. Like, that's where he goes to eat. Right? I was walking in. I'm like, what? It's Daniel LaRusso. It's Daniel LaRusso. He's like, it's Ralph. I was like, no, no, it's not.
Call him Ralph. Oh, sweet.
I don't even remember the question. What's the question?
What do you think about the topic, Gary?
I think he's got considerable beef. I mean, why? They're paying everyone the zone. Why is he getting shortchanged? I mean, he sold how many tickets to fight Fonseca, which means he's selling all the tickets. He does good numbers. In this age, he should be making at least $500,000. At least. He's right. He's got considerable beef.
As a non-champion, he should make more than Shakur Stevenson.
He's a bigger star than Shakur.
He's a bigger star than Shakur Stevenson. And I don't even think Garcia is good.
Shakur's got stuff on the resume to say, look, Olympic silver medalist, featherweight world champion. That should be ticking boxes as far as my paycheck.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I get Ryan's a draw and it's a subscriber driver. But didn't something come out about his deal that he signed was something like 250,000? So it's like 50,000 less than he would be getting during Corona. I don't know.
Just to jump in briefly, I will say this: Ryan Garcia was on ESPN years ago and did better numbers than Shakur Stevenson. So yes, you're right, Rob, that Shakur has accolades that are better than Ryan Garcia, both from an amateur and professional standpoint right now already. Even though I make fun of his professional accolades right now because they're nothing. He beat Trevor Gonzalez. But he does have a belt. He does have a silver Olympic medal. Obviously, you should get paid according to that. But drawing power and prize fighting is a direct correlation to how much you should get paid. Like that's just that's indisputable. On top of it, let's say you're any headliner right now in boxing. Or any pretty much fighter right now, honestly. If not just a headliner, if you're a fighter right now and you're getting offers and the offer you're getting is your base flat fee that you've been getting for fights pre-pandemic, why are you getting the same amount of money right now? I would be negotiating for hazard pay. Like there's certain things I would be negotiating if I'm Ryan Garcia to get more money. And there's an argument absolutely for that. You're fighting in the middle of a pandemic, risking your life, the life of your family, etc., and you're getting the base level of pay still. No, I want an uptick in my pay. However, just to play devil's advocate, because I do think Ryan Garcia probably should get paid more than $200,000 if you look at the rest of the market. He just signed this fucking deal, man. Like, dude, like you had a shitty deal, and we had the whole renegotiation for the Duno fight. And you signed again another deal that was in your favor. How did you let that happen, man? Like,
yeah, he was all like, "It's the biggest deal in prospect history, baby."
Yeah, honestly, like who was negotiating that for you? Like, honestly, like I'm also asking you guys, maybe you remember, like, who's his manager? Like, who was in those rooms with Golden Boy getting him this deal that he doesn't like now?
His name's Guadalupe.
Right. Oh, no, was that his lawyer or manager?
He's both.
Oh, okay. It was acting as both. Okay.
Yeah, and apparently he does make significant money outside of boxing, like endorsements and
I
stuff
bet
like
I bet he does. I mean, I bet he makes Instagram money because he's an Instagram model. That's just what he is now. Let's be honest.
That's why he doesn't want that Tanner Harris, mate. What do you reckon, Gary? Is that what this is?
I wouldn't fight Tanahara for only 200 grand. Like that's going to damage me, right? He's going to beat me. I may not even be that pretty after that fight's over with, right? Like this could ruin my earning potential. So I need more than 200 grand to fight Tanahara.
Sorry, Matt.
So I understand Ryan Garcia's point absolutely, and I'll be honest. In the subtext here, and I'm really inferring here, there's a lot of issues with the communication line between DAZN, Golden Boy, and Golden Boy's fighters. That is a reoccurring issue, it seems. That key Golden Boy fighters have an issue with Golden Boy and DAZN's relationship and how it affects their business. That's a reoccurring issue for some reason. Just want to point that out.
I think Golden Boy is the common denominator.
Oh, absolutely.
Canelo doesn't even talk.
We don't hear as many of these issues with Matchroom and DAZN and their fighters. You're absolutely right about that.
But you would agree with me, Matt, that he deserves bigger paydays than Shakur Stevenson, right? And I don't want to say deserves, but he deserves the wrong word because that means merit. But
in this current market, he has a easy argument to make more than some of his peers. I'll say that.
He's currently, I think, more valuable to the business than Shakur is to Top Rank's business.
That's without a doubt. I mean, after Canelo, that's it. They got him and Verge.
They don't even have Verge yet, let's be honest. They haven't built him in.
Potentially. I mean, he could be their welterweight moving forward, right?
Yeah.
But I mean,
he's
they don't care. Yeah.
He's possibly coming in to swoop the July 4th date away from Ryan if Ryan don't want it, or because apparently there's offers out there. Tanahara is saying I signed my end of it. You know?
There obviously are offers out there. He just doesn't want the money.
I can't fault him.
And then then Tank said about him, he bought that Ferrari and now he can't afford, like this, that, and the other. But like Gary said, Ryan did have a cop in his pocket ready waiting. But yeah, I don't know. I just want to see Ryan fight because outside of that, he's kind of annoying, in my opinion. I'm not one of the 6.4 million teeny bopper girls that probably in love with him. I just like watching fight. That's it. I don't want to hear him doing all that. I don't know. He's done all this in the public domain. I don't know. He did it before and it worked, right? Because eventually, because Canelo got on board with Ryan, right? And that's when Golden Boy kind of shit themselves and went, shit, we better do something, give him some more money. And now he's trying it again, in my opinion. Like, I think it's almost.
I think
my deal was good.
I think you can definitely find it annoying if you want, but it's definitely effective. I'll say that.
Public pressure, yeah.
And I'll be honest.
0.4 million behind him. There's not many fighters can bring that kind of give Ryan his money.
He has a lot of leverage over Golden Boy right now that I don't think a lot of fans realize. Even though he's just an IG model and he hasn't fought really anyone with the pulse except for maybe a Jason Velez. Like I get it. I get all the criticisms of Ryan Garcia, but the guy has still a drawing power and he still has leverage over one of the bigger name promotions, at least. Maybe they don't have the biggest stable right now like they used to, but Golden Boy Promotions is still a massively well-known promotional company in the sport, and he's the number 2 there as a prospect with no wins over top 10 competition. That's a huge indictment on Golden Boy and their strength and viability as a company.
He's in a position where he's in the driver's seat. He really is. I mean, he can demand what he wants. He's young. He's a star. Like, Golden Boy's going to have to pay him more. DAZN's, they're going to have to up that. Right? I'm just – he's got like a Scottie Pippen contract. It's like, what? 200 grand? No, he needs to demand more than that. And it's just too bad. Like, if you want to keep me, you're going to have to keep me happy. So you're going to have to pay me more money than that. Like, that's the end of the conversation. Like, you're going to have to pay me more than that.
Yeah, I tend to agree, especially in this market, in this climate. I just don't see how Golden Boy also has the leverage to win out in a public negotiation battle with Ryan Garcia. Like that just doesn't seem likely to me.
Especially if Canelo joins in again.
They already only talk to Canelo through lawyers. Do you really want to make that relationship with Ryan too? Because you're trending in that direction.
It might already be in that position right now.
He kind of alluded to it, didn't he?
Yeah, I think we're kind of already in that position with Ryan. They like, I'll be honest, Gary. Like, you may say, like, oh, that might be happening with him. Like, that might already be the status quo relationship between Ryan Garcia and Golden Boy. Is that it's all between lawyers and managers. That's probably likely the relationship we have right now. So
think about that. The relationship Oscar has with his star is the same relationship I have with the cops. I don't answer any questions. Don't talk to me. I'm not going to answer any of your questions. You ask me how my day is, I'm not talking to you.
Fuck 12. Anyways, let's move on, guys. We only have a couple more topics to get through. And actually, this might be the last one. I might just cut off the show after this topic. This might be our last one because it's late. And Rob looks tired. He's yawning. It's okay, Rob. Regis Prograce's manager, Sam Kavatsky, who's a good guy. Good guy, actually. One of the nice guys in the sport. Tells The Athletic he won't fight Maurice Hooker at 147 pounds. Quote, we have an agreement at 143 pounds. Regis will remain at 140. 143 was a concession to Hooker. It's not our fault some fighters can't be professional and remain in shape with a big fight coming up. This was in response to Brian McIntyre, Bomac, the trainer of Hooker, saying that the fight's not going to happen until they can have it happen 147 pounds because Hooker wants to move up. So, guys, thoughts on Prograis Hooker? Still sort of in the red zone, but not in the end zone, and not really having the football reference there, Gary. You happy?
I like that. That was good. That was really good.
It's still like almost signed, almost there. It's this little tiny weight stipulation. Do we ever actually get Regis Prograis, Maurice Hooker, or does that fight just move on and we get something else?
We're gonna get that fight. They both want it. Like they really do. Prograis will fight anybody. Hooker thought, and most people who saw it thought he beat him in the Texas Golden Gloves back in the day. He hasn't lived that down because Hooker's not a Golden Glove champion, and that kind of sticks in his craw. He wants that fight. He wants to beat Prograis. They'll make this fight. I don't know if they'll be at 140, 147, or somewhere in between. But like Hooker should just take the fight at 143 and then come in at 145 or 146 or whatever. We're going to walk away from the fight. Prograis will fight anybody. Prograis will take the fight if he comes in at 145. So he'll have to pay him some money. You just bought yourself 2 pounds.
Did you read out the other Coppinger tweets regarding this?
No, I didn't.
Regis Prograis tells The Athletic that when I saw Maurice Hooker face to face, he looked huge. His face was big. I didn't even want to do 143. I want to be champion again at 140 before going to 147. If he can't make the weight, there's no fight. When I go up, I'm not coming back down. And he said, if you know you have a fight at 143, no matter
Rob, talk to the mic. Talk to the mic, Rob. Talk to the mic.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, if you know you have a fight at 143, no matter about coronavirus, you're making 7 figures to fight. You need to be a professional and stay in shape. I really think I'm going to fuck him up, and he don't want the fight. Terence Crawford can't fight for him. So yeah, Hooker getting 7 figures for the Prograis fight. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm assuming it's an issue of money. If this fight's at 147, I'm assuming Prograis wants more money at 147 than at 140. Or at 143, right? Like, I'm assuming that's probably the issue at hand. More than Hooker's too big and he doesn't really want to move up right now. I think it's about money. If they offered him, I don't know, $500,000 more to fight at 147, he'd probably take it. That's what I'm assuming, to be quite honest.
Money helps all things, right?
Absolutely.
I personally don't think Hooker should go back down to 147. I mean, to go back down to 140. I think he should stay at 47. And if that fight doesn't happen as a result, then it doesn't happen. Because, like, I know he fought at nobody in that one fight he did at 47, but he didn't look drained. He looked strong and healthy. Like, he usually looks like, a starving person. Like, he didn't look like, yeah, he does, right? Like, he looked strong. He looked healthy. Like, you're a welterweight now. Like, and if this fight doesn't happen because of it right now, then it doesn't happen right now because of it.
Yeah, I agree. And if Prograis really does, Prograis wants to win another title again at 140, then I don't think he should be going up to like 143 and then having to cut. And I don't know, it's all weird. But yeah, I'm not sure now anymore. I'm not sure.
It is boxing.
Eddie did say that could be I don't know if he meant DAZN as a whole or just Matchroom on DAZN are looking at August the 8th return, which I think would be he'd have 2 shows on the same day, one in the UK and one in the US. But and he talked about Prograis Hooker without any of this stuff. This came out later, but so Prograis Hooker was one of the fights they want to do, and Chocolatito and Estrada. Also looking at that for early part of the schedule for DAZN coming back. But yeah, I don't know whether Eddie knew anything about this weight stuff until Coppinger brought it up or whatever. I don't know.
I'm assuming he did. It's Eddie.
Yeah, I'm sure there's talkings behind, whatever.
Well, he's the promoter to Maurice Hooker, so I'm assuming.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
When there was a 143-pound catchweight, he's aware of that being agreed upon at one point. Now, not anymore. I'm assuming he's aware of that.
Yeah.
But guys, that's gonna be it for today's show. We did have a Jeff Horn topic we're not gonna get to. We did have a Erickson Lubin topic we're not gonna get to today, so we might talk about them on another show later this week.
You and Gary can do that one.
You want to talk about Jeff Horn and Tim Zhu. I say Tim to Zoo too, like Matt. Like, I don't know. Like,
it's
Tim.
Zoo.
Yeah.
That's how everyone.
Oh, sorry. I'm so
Ricky Hatton, Costa Zoo. That's it. It's Zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Jeff Horn wins that easy. But yeah, good show, guys. Good show.
It was a good show. It was fun today.
I liked it. Good to be back. Despite Matt reckoning we do 2 a week.
We do like 2 a week.
Do we, Gary?
We've been doing, just the 1 week. We'll call it Hell Week. We didn't, but we typically do 2 a week. Like one in the middle of the week. One in the middle of the week. Like that was a week vacation.
Gary went through hell when he
vacation from hell, right? But besides that, if you go through most of the pandemic, we've done 2 shows a week.
Yeah, we're on overtime here. Okay, we're doing 2 shows a week during a pandemic. Look at us. Look how awesome we are.
Yeah, look how awesome we are.
And we still have interesting topics to discuss, unlike Max and Stephen A. Smith on First Take, which is just like, I get it. Like, there's nothing to talk about, but like, come on, guys, come up with something. Like,
I'll be honest.
Like we did.
I'm usually one to defend Max Kellerman. I saw him interview Dana White about fighter pay and unionization, and it was revolting. Like, I almost threw up in my mouth several times. It was so bad. I finally understand it, people. I get it. I get why there's a lot of you that hate Max Kellerman. I get it now. It took me forever, guys. I'm sorry.
You should watch Dana with Hernan Belly as well. You'd like that one.
Do you see him with Dan Le Batard? That was hilarious. That was so good.
I know what you just said.
You know who Dan Le Batard is?
No.
He's an ESPN guy. Been on forever.
Yeah, I don't know. What does he do?
Been on for like 20 years.
Yeah,
he has like a radio show, I would say, but it's like also a TV show. Because you know how they do
Bomani.
We don't get.
Bomani News.
You know where Bomani's from?
Texas.
Oh, wild stab in the dark there from Matt. Way to go.
All right, let's get out of here. If you're out there protesting, be safe. Fuck the police. I'm probably gonna be out there later this week with you again. Stay safe out there with the pandemic. Wear a mask, hand sanitizer. Don't be stupid. What else? Also, Reminder that all these boxing cards this week suck. You do not have to give them free promotion. You don't get paid by the promoter or the network. That's not your job. Don't worry about it. And you can find me, Matt Hunter, MCR, on all social media platforms if you want to talk shit to me. I'll talk shit back. Whatever. Rob, over to you.
Why did you see again? You're so dark and gloomy. Why didn't you say that's my social media? If you want to hit me up, say hi, how you doing? I'll say hi, how you doing back. Not if you want to talk shit to me, I'll fucking talk shit. Just be a happy person. What is wrong with you? And Matt, if you're going out, marching and stuff, try social distancing a little bit.
I did in downtown LA because it was easier, but Hollywood was hard.
Where was the one you sent a video and said, "Can you see me"?
Where was that? That was Hollywood. Hollywood was hard. That was impossible.
That was Hollywood. Okay, I was going to say that was downtown LA. Don't say you.
No. That was downtown Hollywood, but downtown LA was easy because it was bigger streets. Yeah, we could be a little more spread out, which we were. But Hollywood was cramped, man. That was weird, and there was no cops. It was very odd. Not cop inside.
No, there's no one to shout at.
Well, the downtown LA one, we had National Guards like kind of pressing us all the time. It was very different vibes.
Have you got any statues that are gonna get removed? We've been taking everything down here.
We can probably find some like statues of priests that like open up all like the missionaries and like enslave the Native Americans. We'll probably tear some of those down if we find them. Yeah. But I'm not knowledgeable enough about like whether or not we have those statues here, like the South or Virginia, right where they're pulling down Robert E. Lee statues. That's a little bit different.
A little project for you later, maybe. I know you do like to geek out on this shit.
True, very true.
And anything you say, oh, I'm gonna look into that. I just know Matt geeks out on it full tilt. He goes big time into the geeking out. But UK Rob, Instagram and Twitter. Give me a follow. Come by, say hi. We'll have a nice chat. We talk shit. I'll probably just say, "Oh, come on, don't be like that. Can't we just
talk shit, get hit? Don't forget,
chat shit, get back." No, give me some shit on Twitter. I'll just say, "Oh, come on, can't we just be friends?"
Yo, Calvin in the chat. Matt last smiled in 1995. Pass it on. You know what it said is, I was born in 1995. That's fucking so mean and maybe so accurate.
Yeah. He came out. It's like, oh, what's going on? This is weird. And then,
fuck this shit.
This is shit. I'm gonna go back in.
What's funny about that is Rob was born in 1895.
Oh, Gary.
Find me on all.
That's like a fucking 1,000 years, 100 years, fucking million years. Come on,
that's real old. Find me on all forms of social media. 3D Boxing, 3D Boxing blog. My paisan did it. The future of heavyweight boxing is Italian. From Texas to the world. Thank you and God bless.
Yo, fuck Winston Churchill. Fucking racist piece of shit, fascist motherfucker. Fuck out of here. Yeah. Fuck anyone that was supporting colonialism and imperialism. Sorry. They can spray paint. They can pull down the Churchill 1-2, man. Any of those statues. Fuck them. Get them out of here. And have a great day, everyone. Peace.